All right, welcome back yet again. I'm gonna talk about um, how so many things that affect men simply don't quantify, they don't track, they don't clock to women. If that makes sense to you. Um, my friend was, or not my friend. I sent them this. I'll put it as the thumbnail. I sent my friend this article that said 60, I believe it was 63% of men perceive themselves as unlovable by their, desired sex. So basically 63% of men believe they will never find a wife or a long-term girlfriend. And that is we're in dire straits because this shit is brand new stuff. This isn't stuff that pretty much anyone else has had to worry about for the entirety of the human race. This isn't me dooming, this is me just being realistic. A lot of shit is happening that no one has ever had to deal with before. So, prime example being that, a lot of guys just feel absolutely lonely. And they're so lonely to the degree that they believe they'll never not be lonely. And that's scary shit, if we're going to be honest. These are things that should not be happening. Um, and I was explaining this. I sent this article to my friend in a group chat, and she's a girl, so she said, "Oh no, here we go again with the male loneliness epidemic." And I said, "This isn't exclusively about men. This is about the fact that um, people aren't dropping their barriers and being vulnerable with each other. So people aren't dating. You see what I'm saying here? Like, if people aren't being vulnerable with each other, they're not going to date. And this is not exclusively a men or women thing. This is um, human thing. This is a human condition, being that people aren't dating at all. Doesn't matter if you are um, a male or female. It doesn't This affects both genders because the dating market is very bad right now. So many people have been dealt such a shitty time in dating that nobody wants to do it. Like, let's keep it a stack, bro. Nobody wants to do this shit right now. Like, do I want to date? Not really. I'd like to just have a girlfriend. I don't want to. I don't want to do the whole dating shit. And my one other friend who's also in the group chat, she doesn't want to date either. She just wants to, like. Well, she said after what happened to her, she had a really tough time at the end of her last relationship. So she's been not trying to date at all. And I think I'm gonna move this camera again. Hold on. And that's the problem. Is like right now is like I'm not gonna say right now is the best time to date, but it makes a lot more sense to date now while you're like young than when you're old because dating when you're old is fucking horrible. So say whatever you want about that, but it's not. It is definitely less than ideal. I'm not gonna lie to you. Where the hell is that guy at? Shit, whatever. Um, but it's been an all around not good time to be in the dating market. But she didn't understand that you know it's not the male loneliness epidemic. It's the lack of dating from the younger generation, the youngest generations. There's no one's doing it. No one's doing it. Like all my friends are not dating. They're not dating. All my friends are excuse me. All my friends are at a point where they're just not dating at all. In fact, most of my friends that I went to high school with have never dated in their entire life. They just have never done it. And that sounds ridiculous to a lot of people, but it's just true. You know what I mean? It's just true. No, a lot of people aren't fucking dating. You know, And I'm not going to say this is indicative of anything really. All it really means is that people aren't dating, and that there's a lot of factors in this. People aren't dating because we live in a low trust society, as well as they're not dating because everything is so damn expensive, and no one is. If everything is expensive, you don't have, excess funds to be thrown around. Jeez, oh man. If you don't have excess funds to be thrown around, you're not going to be dating. You're just not. It's just the way it is. And people get mad about this stuff, and I'm like, dude, I'm over it. I don't even care. I'm not even bothered. Because I know how cooked it is. I know it's not gonna, this shit isn't gonna get better overnight. And it's not gonna be over this year or the next, even probably. This stuff isn't gonna be over for a long time. Being scared to date, this shit is not going anywhere. I mean, and that's why I said, for a lot of guys, we're just clocked out, bro. We're checked out of the entire scenario because it's so ass, bro. Being in a position where you can't even, like most men. This shows you how backwards it is now. In the before time, before the modern era. So before any time before the 70s probably, or even the 90s. um, Women wanted to settle down, and men wanted to run around and do whatever they wanted. Now it's the opposite. Men want to settle down, and women want to run around. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if you look at, I only have a couple minutes left to record, I think. If you look at how it's working now, women don't want to be married and have families. Women want to go out and they want a career max, and they want a boss babe, and they want all this shit. They want to do all that. And men just want to be fathers. It's kind of it. A lot of men just want to be fathers. I'm not saying I need to do this shit. I'm so sorry for the yawning, guys. I'm not saying I need to be married this year, or that I need to, have kids on the way in a couple, all this shit. I'm not saying any of that, but I'm saying is a lot of life is based on the prospect of soon I will have this thing. And if you never have your soon I will have this thing, you just go insane, dude, because none of this shit has any meaning, right? Like, why are you going to work every day? Why? To get money. Why do you need money? So I can have things. Why do you want to have things? It doesn't do anything. It doesn't fill any void. It's just, okay, well, now I have money. See what I'm saying? Like, you didn't really gain anything by doing that. You just fucking, like, got more things in your house. You didn't really win. You didn't really gain any type of actual worth. You just gained the money. But here's the thing: if you have money and you're using that money to provide for a family, there's actually, like, a point to be doing this stuff. If you just work to exist, you're not really, like, doing anything important, anything worth your time, anything worthwhile. You're just working to have money to exist. And that's not inherently bad, but the problem is that it doesn't provide any value to your life, like, at all. And that's, how much time do I have? I have like 30 seconds. That's not really worth anything. So this was kind of a pointless rant video. But if you're not dating to marry, it feels completely pointless to me. I don't know. So, but just, yeah, thanks for watching, I guess. Bye bye.